24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is MM Radio.
Give us a beer, mate. Come on.
Are you ready for triple shots on the rocks? The 24-hour music bar.
The drinks are on, JJ.
You're listening to JJ Kane. I'm Jay Townsend from British band Weak13, and please share this show with all your friends, even if you're involved in a serious crime and you're about to get murdered. Before you call 999, please share this show. It's very important.
Make millions, think would put you in the pages, and the story will stick. I'm just a joke, but you follow me. I'm just a joke, but you follow me. Yeah. I'm just a joke, but you follow me.
there, my lovelies, and welcome to another quite great Triple Shots on the Rock show. And as you heard at the beginning, I am with Nick J. Townsend from Weak13. Nick, you're on the line. How are you, my darling? How are you doing?
Thank you ever so much for inviting Nick J. Townsend onto your show. I'm I'm proud of myself for being dressed and on time. I'm really overwhelmed. It actually brings a tear to my eye.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, my darling, I also am up and dressed. Between you and me, that's a rarity. But don't tell anyone, okay, because it's our little secret. Nick, I've known you for some time now, and I played us in with your track, The Joker, which I absolutely love. That's new to me. So tell me, where does it all begin? What inspired you?
I think I began writing lyrics, but I didn't realise there were lyrics at the time. I was heavily bullied as a child, so I'd draw or write. I did a lot of art, and the words I was writing eventually led to lyrics. It was actually a fluke that I started playing guitar because I had a neighbour called Jeremy Baker, and a friend of his called Sonia left an acoustic guitar in his bedroom, and I used to pop round and see him quite frequently. And it'd been there for a month, and I say, "Have you got any good at this?" And he said, he showed me something. It wasn't impressive looking back, but I mean, for him, it seemed brilliant. And then I said, "Can I just borrow it for a night?" And I did, and I think I played on it for about 3 hours. I came back, and I showed him the chord and stuff, and I was technically, he was like, "Wow, like what that's." I played more than 4 notes in a row, which was impressive, and I'd made up a chord, and I thought, can I borrow this for another day? He's like, yeah. So I was actually accidentally thrown into music, and I realised it was a very good creative outlet.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I bet they were glad to have their bedroom back as well. I mean, I've just come round to see you, but I'm going to spend 3 hours in your bedroom. Is that all right? Oh, God. Well, at least you got the guitar. Go on, carry on.
I think after about 6 months, I got to the point where I started writing songs, and it wasn't just like something I did after school. I started doing it properly. I formed a band with some musicians. It was a high school band, and we played Metallica covers and Queen covers and things like that. I hadn't actually started writing full songs yet. I had started writing guitar riffs and things like that, which would lead to my own songs, but it wasn't until that band finished, and I went to a music college in Kidderminster. It's a part of the United Kingdom, and I went to performing arts for 2 years. I didn't do the 3rd year, and I learned about obviously performance, and I think I wrote a lot of my best riffs at the time, and I was thinking, what am I going to do with these riffs? So I thought I'd start a band. I did do a thrash metal band for about 9 months, and then Weak13 kind of came into life after I left college, and I had all this like lyrics and riffs. I wanted to do something with them. So that happened. That's what kind of got me into music, really. Just sheer fluke.
Wow, that's amazing. So Weak13 have been together since you were sort of schoolboys. Goodness gracious me, I'd love to have been in that band at the beginning. I tell you, you were probably like, I don't know, like you do the assembly at school, and you do a cover version, and the teachers go, "Oh, that's pretty cool, yeah." And then suddenly they turn up at one of your gigs and you're doing thrash metal. It's like, they didn't do that in our school. Nothing. I went to school with Sid Vicious. Well, he was a few years above me, and we weren't allowed to mention him because of obviously what he went on to do. It was hysterical, and there was Sid's written all over the walls everywhere. Do you know what I mean? There was graffiti, and I swear to God, it killed the headmaster off. It really did. He turned into a beetroot face. So funny. Anyway, my love, let's have a listen to your second track. Let's have a listen. Here we go. my lovelies, you are here with me, and I am here with Nick J. Townsend from Weak 13, giving him the Spanish Inquisition. That was Closure, Nick, and what a track that is. An absolute banger. Who do you look up to as a musician? Oh, it's always a tough question, this one.
Musicians that I look up to. I think if there's a poster on the ceiling, I would definitely look up to it. If it was a poster of Jimi Hendrix or Kurt Cobain, I'd look up to that.
Well, my darling, you are in good company, because behind me I have Jimi Hendrix, yes. He's kind of 3D and it looks like his guitar is poking me in the back of the neck. But I wouldn't mind if it was, to be honest with you. I really wouldn't. Anyway, back to you. That's my fantasy.
Yeah, seriously, those were big influences. I, like most kids, grew up with whatever bands were popular at the time. It was usually Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, and things like that. But there's a lot of music like Elton John and so artists like Elton John that I grew up with. And I was always actually very impressed by the guitar work, because there was always really cool guitar parts. A lot of people just can't go, it's all piano and singing. No, there was some great keyboards and synth basses, and it was kind of very reminiscent of a lot of the music that used to inspire me from film soundtracks. And I used to love the horror scores by John Carpenter, filmmakers like that, who are also great musicians. In fact, I've seen his band play live. They're amazing. I've got 2 of John Carpenter's albums, and I've watched all his films. And like people like that, I look up to quite a lot. John Carpenter was, and still is, a huge influence on my work. But I look up to a few. I suppose you could call them obvious influences, but the not so obvious ones are people like Kenny Everett, Les Dawson. They were huge influences. I'm also a vocalist and a singer, and I write lyrics and stuff. And I think you have to have a sense of panache, a sense of character when you doing lyrics and writing music. And I actually think there's a bit of satire in a lot of the stuff I produce, and I probably picked up a lot of sarcasm from Les Dawson and Kenny Everett, and some great comedians of the early 80s.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just don't make the comedy like it used to be, do they? I mean, I grew up with Les Dawson, and to me, he is a genius. And I used to teach saxophone, and I had this one person that really couldn't play, and I suggested all different types of instruments that may suit them. And in the end, I just said, look, my love, you are to the saxophone what Les Dawson was to the piano. But I mean, to be able to be that bad on the piano, you had to be absolutely brilliant. And then Les Dawson did all that. And going back to Elton John, as you probably have heard my shows, I absolutely love Elton John. Bernie Taupin's lyrics were amazing. Elton John had the ear, and those two were born to be together. Do you know what I mean? They were just like pre-arranged up above, a bit like Paul Simon and Garfunkel, you know, those types of things. They're just meant to be, aren't they? Right, that's enough from me nattering on. Let's have a listen to a third track from you, and sit back, relax, and let's have another drink, shall we? Yeah? That's 2 doubles for me and him. Thank you. Oh, and 1 for him in the box. That was Cameras Are Everywhere from Week 13, and they are especially, you know, CCTV is everywhere apart from when you need it, and then there's none available, or it was not working, it was faulty, it was switched off at the time. Not that I'm pointing at anybody in particular, but you know what I mean. Yes, very handy. Right, you are with me, JJ Kane, and I am with Nick J. Townsend from Week 13. Welcome back to the show, my love, welcome. I have another question to ask you, my darling. So, how you doing with the drink there? You're okay? Yeah? Great. Right, let's get stuck into another question. And that is, how would you best describe your music?
I think I've actually already kind of explained that. Satire. We are a satire. I think it's taken me a long time to work out what Week 13 is. We've been going for quite a while. We've got a lot of interesting releases out there, but I think it's almost like a band that shouldn't be a band. We just write songs that stick in your head. There's usually a reason why the song's made. It could be something funny, it could be something serious, it could be a hot topic, but it's always done with a little bit of cheekiness.
I know what you mean there, my darling. I'm exactly the same. I think that's why we get along. It's always a bit too blonde or tongue-in-cheek, or a bit too close to that political bone. Do you know what I mean?
or sometimes, actually, there's a very sincere message disguised as a slap. Yeah, it's okay. We could just go, oh, it's metal punk rock, yeah, which doesn't really explain what Week 13 is at all. But it's the best way to kind of understand some of the genres involved in Week 13. But there's a lot of there's a lot of things happening in Week 13 visually as well. When we make music videos, there's usually a lot of themes, like whether from sci-fi or I don't know, nostalgic kind of nods, or we're just trying to entertain. I think basically Week 13 is just fun, really. I think it's just fun. I think you've got to have fun if you're making music, because if you don't, then you'll just be dead inside.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll never forget the first time that I played Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. It was like, I really like this band. I really like them. They've really punked up a fantastic song. And you did it at such a perfect time, with the politics being as they were. I don't know whether that was intended, but it certainly worked out well for me, because I had Boris Johnson sat on the dock of a bay. And on that note, we shall play A Dock of a Bay.
Watching the tide roll
lovelies, you are propping up the bar with me and Nick J. Townsend from Weak13. That was Loyal Coward, and before that it was Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. Absolute stonkers of tracks. I actually want to be in the band. Nick, tell me, what are your creative sessions like?
It's when we're making music or writing music, it's usually a different experience each time.
Right.
Sometimes it starts off with a word, a lyric, a song title, a feeling.
Right, yeah.
That might sound really, whatever, but it's kind of like sometimes I start with a guitar riff. Sometimes I start with a lyric,
Right.
and then I write a guitar riff for that lyric, which becomes a chorus, and then sometimes it's just come out of a gut instinct. I mean, if there's something I want to write about, and I've got a theme, and the music comes after sometimes.
Right, yeah.
So some good musicians just write music and go, and I'll slap some vocals on. I think, write music, yeah, definitely. I write music, but I think if I'm going to write something, there's got to be a point to it. And I think with every Weak13 song, there is a point. So the creative side of it, it's kind of like, when you're, I'm sort of speaking for me, really, even other people, but when I was young, I used to sort of draw and do art, and
Right.
some people would sort of sit on a desk and draw. I was never that person. I'd lie on the floor with all my notepads and paper and stuff all over the floor. Everything was within arm's reach,
Right.
including lemonade and pens and whatever, erasers, and that's how I would draw. I think that's how I write as well. It's usually quite messy. It's just like I could be in a messy. Some people like a really clean, tidy studio. Well, I'm being creative. Anything goes really, and it's just like my drive is to get the message across. So if I'm writing a song about something I really consider important, I will immerse myself in that, and it's whatever it takes. And some it's like songs can take weeks, months. Sometimes it's all done in a day, but it's got to be a very productive day, because I'm always trimming the fat off stuff. I'll write something, and I might say that's really good, but then I'll look back on it in about a week's time and go, if I rearrange that a little bit, or I need to change that word. Yeah, because some people just don't even think. They just write something the first time and go, that's it. That's what you call a first draft.
Right, yeah.
I'll have a third, fourth, 10th draft, and then I refine it till I think it's ready.
Yeah.
Before I go into the studio, I've got my shit together. I see a lot of bands, and I can't believe bands actually write in the recording studio. Now, I understand if there's something new that's happened and you want to embrace something you've just discovered in the recording studio, and because you're there, you've got to do it there and then.
Yeah.
But some people actually just write their entire album in the studio. I can't think of a more depressing thing to do. I write my music walking in the countryside, or walking into town, in coffee shops. My surroundings reflect a lot of what we write, and from thinking stuff. I don't want to be trapped in a box writing music. Otherwise, that's what I'd be writing about, being trapped in a box.
I couldn't agree with you more, my love. I used to go anywhere and everywhere to write. I even had a camper van and a caravan, which was plonked on top of the Mendips. But normally, I wouldn't... One of my songs I wrote was called Kneeling on Concrete, okay? And I was actually writing the song Kneeling on Concrete, and the pain was so bad in my knees, it came out and reflected in the song, and it was exactly what I needed to do to write that song. I don't know if you've ever knelt on concrete for very long. It was at a beach, to be honest with you, and it had like steps going down onto the pebbles, and I just sort of been on the pebbles and had a little splash in the sea and went back to the steps and was on my knees, and oh my god, did it hurt. And I tell you what, that song I'm really proud of, so I totally get it. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened, I can tell you that for nothing. Right, I have another question for you, my lovely. Who would you choose to collaborate with if you had anybody in the world? Who would it be?
I collaborate musically with people I like working with. So as far as if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be? I'd have to give a toss. Yeah, like they have to be people I get on with.
Yeah.
That sounds stupid. Yeah, it's like, oh, they're musical geniuses. They've probably got 7 writers and they're a complete arsehole in their life. But the people I get on with are great people. Is Martin Stanya,
Right.
band Naked Sunday.
Right, yeah.
A fantastic musician. I love any chance I get to work with him. There's a rapper called Fonzie Neutron. I think he's also known as Warren Alfonso.
Right.
He's got a lot of different names, but musically I know him as Fonzie Neutron. And he's a great rapper, and he gets me. And I think I get him. And I think that's why we get each other, because there's something we get. And we've done a couple of songs together, what would you call it? Just sort of bringing hip hop and rock music together and making something interesting.
Right,
It's just like a jam, I guess, but it's just like a jam of respecting each other's strengths. I have full confidence in what he does, and I believe he's got full confidence in what I do. So that's a good person to collaborate with. I mean, you could go, well, you want to work with people that test you. That's all very well, but I know what I'm capable of, and I will work hard when I'm working with other people who also work hard. So I'm not just going to I'll work with Taylor Swift. Yeah, because those people have probably got about 7 or 8 writers that write half of their shit for them. I wouldn't work with her anyway.
Well said, my darling, well said. Yeah, but I do know what you mean. There has to be that chemistry. It doesn't matter whether they're sort of the number one writer in your genre in the world, and you don't get along with them. It just ain't going to happen, because music is chemistry. And you put that very well, my love, very well. Well said. So tell me, now this is another tricky question, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music? I'd probably be in prison. Where would you be?
If I wasn't doing music, I'd probably be a severe graphic novel collector. When I was growing up, all I used to do was read Eagle, Beano, Whizzer and Chips, Dandy, The Beano, Scream magazine. Well, it was a comic, but it was called Scream. And Judge Dredd, 2001 AD. It's like 2000 AD. God. I was reading my comics. I was into... I probably, if I wasn't doing music now, I'd probably be one of the last VHS rental shops around.
Seriously?
And I'd be trying to tell everybody that they need to get themselves a VHS video recorder to embrace Hollywood. I just love... I used to have a massive collection of horror films. I donated them to a filmmaker I know called Tom Lee Rutter, because I thought he'd appreciate those for his collection. It also was one way of getting rid of 300 VHS B movies. But like I have such an appreciation for sci-fi and horror,
Right.
and comic books. I imagine if I wasn't doing music, I'd be doing something related to that. So I'd probably have a kind of comic shop or a comic
Right,
store.
yeah.
You know, but I'd probably be doing that. Either that, or I'd be a civil servant.
Oh my lord, no, don't go there, don't go there. My son, he's very much into cosplay and things like that, and like you, he's got the collections of figures and VHSs, and he's only 21, but he's got absolutely everything. And it's like I go into his room and I can't find him for the pile of collectors and collections that he's got. And he's really into Scream at the moment, really into Scream. I like the funny version of it, but he's actually becoming a priest, but he's into Scream. Don't know what that says about me, darling, but there you go. Yes, takes all sorts. Anyway, enough about that. This is Mary talking of religion by Weak13. Take it away.
She's a girl really fantastic, Eric. She doesn't want to take things, even her dreams, too seriously. When she asks for money to a twisted daddy, he does not even complain. He rather yields to her whims. And when she smiles, takes you far from reality. And when she cries, you will give her everything.
You are here with me and Nick J. Townsend from Weak13. This is Mary. Now tell me, Nick, I've got another question for you. Where have you performed lately? I mean musically. Of course.
I enjoy playing gigs, but I do it with moderation. I will play a show and I'll play a gig, and I get more excited for what happens in between the gigs, like making music videos and writing music and recording music. I love working in the recording studio, working with engineers. There's a great engineer called John Stewart in Coventry. I love going to his studio and recording. So that's kind of a gig to me. But it's like some people just don't do well in the studio. I embrace it. I love it. I mean, we did a gig in Nottingham, and that was fun. And I like going to places and playing, but I get more excited creating the music. That sounds like it's not what I like seeing people. You know, I love. I am as soon as they the lights go down and then they come up again and Weak13 start playing live, I will go at it like a bat out of hell. But that's only for 45 minutes. Yeah, because that's your 45-minute set. It's like a quick fix, really. Yeah, whereas writing a song can take so much time. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I enjoy writing. I enjoy recording. I am a I'm the best person to employ to sit in the studio and write songs and for Weak13, because I'm the biggest fan of Weak13. Yeah. Which makes sense, really, because like if I didn't like what I was doing, I wouldn't be doing it.
Well, no, absolutely not. And that makes perfect sense to me, darling. I'm absolutely up that street. If I'm not happy, then I'm, doing music. If music is becoming a chore, then I'm not happy. I'm not in the right environment. So, I absolutely agree with you on that. And if radio became a chore, I would stop doing it. But that, oh God, please don't make that happen. Do you know what I mean? Came close a few times, but I'm still here. And like you, I do go into the studio prepared, but oh my God, I love being in the studio. And you don't get those terrifying nerves before you go into the studio, because you can just sit there, have a cup of tea, relax, make some music. If it doesn't sound exactly how you want it to, you can go and fiddle with it or do it again. And I much prefer just to do it again to get that real raw feelings. Well, it does to me anyway. So, have you got anything upcoming? Or is it a big secret? I won't tell, I promise.
Well, at the moment, we've got a few things on the table. I'm currently working out. We're going to drop a new single on a record label, which we've just signed a deal with.
Oh, congratulations on that.
We did the song specifically for this label. It's got about 400 death metal and black metal bands, and we thought it would be funny if our first song on their label would be a song called "I'm More Metal Than You." I don't. It's just me trying to rock the boat, I guess. I'm not really trying to rub people the wrong way. It's just there's a story behind it. I had I can't remember who it was. It was someone from a long time ago, and they'd seen me play, and they were once in a band, and it never worked out for them. But I carried on, and I keep making music, and I've done fairly well. But he kind of looked at me in disgust, as if I wasn't good enough to be doing what I'm actually doing. And he kind of said, "Oh, you're not really metal, really." And I felt like, fuck you. You quit after, I don't know, 6 months or some crap like that. Fuck you shit. Yeah, I'm more metal than you. And I thought, yeah, do a song called "I'm More Metal Than You." And what was really embarrassing, fair play to my partner, but she sort of stepped in and he goes, "Oh, he writes bloody good metal songs." And he turned around and goes, "Well, if you write one, send it to me. Because you want me to send you something." Like, fuck you. And I thought, yeah, I'll tell you what. No, actually, I'm going to take that back. I will send you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a song all about your shit fucking opinion. Sorry for swearing.
No, you carry on.
It kind of got me wound up because, number one, I don't really buy into "you're more metal." It's just a word. But it was just the arrogance of this arsehole. I've worked my tits off, and for him just to sort of fob me off. And he had a chance to work with me a long time ago, and he turned it down. But it's almost like, because he gave up his dreams, my dreams are shit. Yeah, I was like, fuck you. I make my dreams happen. If I have an idea, I turn that into reality. The only thing you can do is work in some shitty takeaway. God, that's got a bit personal, hasn't it, JJ? Sorry about that. Yeah, so is this revenge? Oh, I guess you could call it that. No, I wanted to write a song which, number one, I had that experience. I just came up with the "I'm More Metal Than You."
Oh, dear.
And I just thought, what's an egotistical thing to say?
Oh my God.
And then I thought, what if I wrote the most egotistical metal song ever? It's a metal satire. The whole song is actually, I would let you listen to it, JJ, but unfortunately, this is the first release for of the label.
Oh, right.
It'll come out on April 13th, so
Oh, I
I'm
can't-
afraid you haven't got permission to play it today.
Oh, wait.
I do apologise, but it's just so it's a big surprise when it comes out. I'll probably ruin some of the surprise by saying what it's about, but it's just kind of a song to sort of almost salute metal.
Right.
And I'm giving you metal. I'm giving you more metal than you've ever had before in 3 minutes. And at the same time, just to show that, yeah, if we want to be heavy, we can be heavy.
Yeah.
It's no skin off my nose. But I don't have to be heavy all the time just to write a song.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of bands that it's like, oh, it's anything we can do. Yeah. And I'm not as limited as that. I can do anything
Yeah.
and make it sound heavy. I could do something light and make that sound heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't need to have everything on 10 and just yell all the time. You can do a lot with good writing. I think good metal is about good writing. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most technically efficient artists are those that do thrash or, really, really hard metal, because you have to be. And, some people just think it's all about making a blooming racket. It's not. It is a very, very, very complex and well put together music, you know. It's on a par with classical. It really is. It really is. And you're more Iron Man of metal. So tell me, what is your favourite song to play, my lovely? Tell me, which one is it?
My favourite song performing live is probably Joke. It's a fun song. It's very rock. It's very very jumpy, bouncy. And I just get a great feeling playing it live. It's one of those songs where the chorus, where you see people singing it back at you. And that's always a good thing, when you see people's mouths moving and they're actually imitating what you're saying. It means they've downloaded the song or bought the record, which is great, But also it's a testament to the catchiness of the song. It really sticks in your head. I'm just a joke, but you follow me. It's just that does seem to stick with a lot of people that listen to it. I enjoy playing that one live. But I think I wouldn't want to say that's my favourite, but it's one of my favourites.
Yeah, it is a fantastic track, I must admit. This is one of my favourites, and it's the recent one that you sent to me. You Don't Love Me. Oh, I say. Here we go.
Back to the same place that day. I'm on my own.
are listening to Triple Shots on the Rocks. I am with Nick J. Townsend from Weak13. I really want to have a lock-in with you, Nick. Honestly, I could talk to you forever. But we've come to the end. Darling, tell me, do you have a message to give to your fans? And if so, now is the time. The floor is yours, the microphone is yours. Tell them what you want to hear, what they want to hear, what I want to hear. I'm loving this track, honestly. It's an absolute stonker. Right, over to you.
Well, if there's a message to tell my fans, and that is, I'm never going to change the way I do things. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be stuck in a rut. I'm always going to be doing something different. I'm always going to try and make things interesting. I'm always going to rock the boat. I'm always going to try and think of new ways to make people cringe or go, ooh, or maybe go, ooh. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on being creative. This isn't a part-time job. When I said I'm going to be a rock star, I bloody meant it. And rock stars make music. Well, I make music and I'm a rock star. So I don't care what you think of me. But as far as my fans, the people that really believe in what I do, they've stuck with me all this time, and they've got a lot more to come from me. I've got so much more to do, and they will be very aware of it soon. There's going to be a double album out soon, which will give them an idea of what else is to come. Because once they hear a double album and they go, "Oh, that's good," they won't just go, "Oh, that's it." The people that know me know, "Oh my God, that's good. What's he going to do next?" Because I'm not just going to sit there and just get fat. Yeah, I'm going to just keep writing for the rest of my life. I'm in this for the long haul.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
With that, I would just like to say what a grand pleasure it was, JJ. I had so much fun today. I really had a lot of fun. Thank you ever so much for inviting me onto your show.
He's beginning to talk like me. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, Nick J. Townsend and Weak13. Give it up. Go and check them out on Spotify. You've been fantastic, my darling, and I'll talk to you soon. And bye for now. Bye-bye.
Turn on the good taste. Turn on MM Radio.